That looks like it might be going. All right. Oh no, it's not Mastermind. We are moving on to the mystery of sex. Hang on. Let's mute that. We can play that. The meaning of the word transmute, probably should have put this definition in a long time ago. The meaning of the word transmute is, in simple language, the changing or transferring of one element or form of energy into another. All right, that's what transmute. Chapter 11, the mystery of sex transmutation, the 10th step towards riches. The emotion of sex brings into being a state of mind. Because of ignorance on the subject, can you imagine 1937? This is a conversation that they're having about this is the 10th step towards riches. How fascinating is that? The emotion of sex brings into being a state of mind. Because of ignorance on the subject, the state of mind is generally associated with the physical, and because of improper influences to which most people have been subjected in acquiring knowledge of sex, things essentially physical have highly biased the mind. The emotion of sex has back of it the possibility of three constructive potentialities. They are the perpetuation of mankind, the maintenance of health as a therapeutic agency. It has no equal. The transformation of mediocrity into genius through transmutation. Sex transmutation is simple and easily explained. It means the switching of the mind from thoughts of physical expression to thoughts of some other nature. Sex desire is the most powerful of human desires. When driven by this desire, men develop a keenness of imagination, courage, willpower, persistence, creative ability unknown to them at other times. If you've ever been in the pursuit of someone, you did things you normally didn't do. You brought flowers, you showed up, you got chocolates, you wrote letters, right? Those weren't normal things. It created something in you to do something you've never done before. What are my notes? Where does your energy flow that may be an unworthy outlet? What? So strong and impelling is the desire for sexual contact that men freely run the risk of life and reputation to indulge it. When harnessed and redirected along other lines, this motivating force maintains all of its attributes of keenness of imagination, courage, etc., which may be used as powerful creative forces in literature, art, or in any other profession or calling, including, of course, the accumulation of riches. The transmutation of sex energy calls for the exercise of willpower, to be sure, yet the reward is worth the effort. The desire for sexual expression is inborn and natural. The desire cannot and should not be submerged or eliminated. Yet it should be given an outlet through forms of expression which enrich the body, the mind, and the spirit of man. If not given this form of outlet through transmutation, taking one thing and transforming it into another physical form or energy, it will seek outlets through purely physical channels. If not given this form of outlet, so let me go back to what's the form of outlet. Yet it should be given an outlet through forms of expression which enrich the body, which enrich the mind, and enrich the spirit of man. If not given this form of outlet through transmutation, it will seek outlets through purely physical channels. A river may be dammed and its water controlled for a time, yet eventually it will force an outlet. The same is true of the emotion of sex. It may be submerged and controlled for a time, yet its very nature causes it to be ever seeking means of expression. If it is not transmuted into some creative effort, it will find a less worthy outlet. Fortunate indeed is the person who has discovered how to give sex emotion an outlet through some form of creative effort, for he has, by that discovery, lifted himself to a state of genius. Scientific research has disclosed these significant facts. The men of greatest achievement are men with highly developed sex natures, men who have learned the art of sex transmutation. Men who have accumulated great fortunes and achieved outstanding recognition in literature, art, industry, architecture, and other professions were motivated by the influence of a woman. That's scientific research. The research from which these outstanding discoveries were made went back to the pages in biography and history for more than 2,000 years. Wherever there was evidence available in connection with the lives of men and women of great achievement, it indicated most convincingly that they possessed highly developed sex natures. The emotion of sex is an irresistible force against which can be no such opposition as an immovable body. When driven by this emotion, men become gifted with the superpower for action. Understand this truth, and you can catch the significance of the statement that sex transmutation will lift one to the status of genius. The emotion of sex contains a secret of creative ability. Destroy the sex glands, whether in man or beast, and you have removed the major source of action. For proof of this, observe what happens when any animal has been castrated. A bull becomes docile as a cow after it has been altered sexually. Sex alteration takes out of the male, whether man or beast, all the fight that was in him. Sex alteration of the female has same effect. Humankind responds to stimuli through which it may be keyed up, meaning like spun up, fired up, keyed up to high rates of vibration, known as enthusiasm, creative imagination, intense desire, etc. The stimuli to which the mind responds most freely are the desire for sex expression, 2, love, 3, a burning desire for fame, power, or financial gain, or money. Number 4, stimuli, music. Number 5, friendship between either the same sex or those of the opposite sex. 6, a mastermind alliance based upon harmony of 2 or more people who ally themselves, put themselves in harmony, ally themselves for spiritual or temporal advancement. 7, mutual suffering, such that is experienced by people who are prosecuted. Number 8, the stimuli to which the mind responds to most freely are, number 8 is auto-suggestion. Number 9 is fear, and number 10 is narcotics or alcohol. The desire for sex expression comes at the head of the list of stimuli, which most effectively step up the vibrations of the mind and start the wheels of physical action. 8 of the stimuli are natural and constructive. 2 are destructive. The list is here presented for the purpose of enabling you to make the comparative study of the major sources of the mind stimulation. From this study, it will be readily seen that the emotion of sex, by great odds, has the most intense and powerful of all mind stimuli. This comparison is necessary as a foundation for the proof of the statement that transmutation of sex energy may lift one to the status of genius. Let us find out what constitutes a genius. Some wiseacre has said that genius is a man who wears long hair, eats queer food, lives alone, and serves as a target for the joke makers. A better definition of genius is a man who has discovered how to increase the vibrations of thought to a point to where he can freely communicate with sources of knowledge not available through ordinary rate of vibration of thought. I'll say that again. A better definition of genius: a man who has discovered how to increase the vibrations of thought to a point where he can freely communicate with the sources of knowledge not available through the ordinary rate of vibration of thought. The person who thinks will want to ask some questions concerning this definition. The first question will be, how may one communicate with sources of knowledge which are not available through ordinary rate of vibration of thought? Be a good question to ask, right? The next question would be, are there known sources of knowledge which are available only to genie? And if so, what are these sources and exactly how may they be reached? Remember, if we take the word how as human, we're asking for the strategy, and what it's really saying, what the question is really asking, who do I need to become to access thoughts higher than the standard thought of vibration of thought? And then where are these available sources? Another question, we shall offer proof of soundness and of some of the more important statements made in this book, or at least we shall offer evidence through which you may secure your own proof through experimentation, and in doing so, we shall answer both of these questions. Genius is developed through the sixth sense. The reality of the sixth sense has been fairly well established. The sixth sense is creative imagination. Remember, Myron Golden talks about the 4 ways to create income: manipulation, coordination, communication, imagination. Manipulation, digging a ditch. Coordination, coordinating the ditch diggers. You're the supervisor. Communication, author, actor, somebody who speaks, public speaker. And then imagination, the creator of ideas and thoughts. The faculty of creative imagination is one which the majority of people never use during their entire lifetime. Shocking. And if used at all, usually happens by mere accident. A relatively small number of people with deliberation and purpose aforethought, the faculty of creative imagination. Those who use this faculty voluntarily and with understanding of its functions are genii. Genie, G-E-N-I, right? The plural of genius. The faculty of creative imagination is the direct link between the finite mind of man and the infinite intelligence. All so-called revelations refer to the realm of religion, and all discoveries are basic or new principles in the field of invention take place through the faculty of creative imagination. When ideas or concepts flash into one's mind, through what is popularly known as hunches, they come from one or more of the following sources. Hunches come from infinite intelligence, number one. Number two, the subconscious mind, where is stored every sense impression and thought impulse which has ever reached the brain through any of the five senses. Number three, from the mind of some other person who has just released a thought or picture of the idea or concept through conscious thought. Or number four, from another person's subconscious storehouse. That's where hunches come from. Infinite intelligence from your subconscious, where everything that's ever happened to you, said to you, everything has ever been stored. It's all stored there. Number three, from the mind of another person who just released the thought. Or number four, directly from their subconscious storehouse. There are no other sources from which inspired ideas or hunches may be received. The creative imagination functions best when the mind is vibrating due to some form of mind stimulation at an exceedingly high rate. That is, the mind is functioning at the rate of vibration higher than that of ordinary, normal thought. I was reading my note. What does it take to get you beyond ordinary, normal thought? When the brain action has been stimulated through one or more of the 10 mind stimulants, it has the effect of lifting the individual far above the horizon of ordinary thought and permits him to envision distance, scope, and quality of thoughts not available at a lower plane, such as that occupied while engaged in one of the solution of while one is engaged in the solution of problems of business and professional routine. Let me say that again. When the brain action has been stimulated through one of the 10, right, that was the previous page, desire for sexual expression, love, a burning desire for fame, power, financial, money, music, friendship, mastermind alliance, mutual suffering, autosuggestion, fear, narcotics, or alcohol, one of those 10, it has the effect of lifting the individual far above the horizon of ordinary thought. It permits him to envision distance, scope, and quality of thoughts not available on the lower plane, such as that occupied while one is engaged in the solution of problems of business and professional routine. So while you are in your typical normal state of activity, you are not in this horizon. You have not gone above the horizon of ordinary thought. That's why sometimes people will say things when they have alcohol that they wouldn't normally say. You've gone above an ordinary thought. Right? Didn't say it was a good thinking sometimes. Right? When lifted to this higher thought of level, through any form of mind stimulation, an individual occupies relatively the same position as one who has ascended in an airplane to the height from which they may see over and beyond the horizon line, which limits his vision. Boy, I gotta say, if you just let the visual slip in, sneak in, allow yourself to expand to the greater possibilities. When lifted to this higher level of thought through any form of mind stimulation, the individual occupies relatively the same position as one who ascended in an airplane to the height from which they may see over and beyond the horizon line, which limits his vision while on the ground. Moreover, while on this higher level of thought, the individual is not hampered or bound by any of the stimuli which circumscribe and limit his vision while wrestling with the problems of gaining the three basic necessities of food, clothing, and shelter. In He is in a world of thought in which the ordinary, the workaday thoughts have been effectively removed, as are the hills and valleys and other limitations of physical vision when he rises in the airplane. Now, this is underlined in red. While on this exalted plane of thought, the creative faculty of mind is given freedom of action. I mean, I want you to hear that again. I hope I do a good enough job emphasizing. When you elevate yourself to a plane beyond your ordinary thinking, you elevate yourself in this plane, you can see things differently. You can see things farther. You can access, you're not looking through filters of limitations of fear and doubt. When on this exalted plane level of thought, the creative faculty of the mind is given freedom for action. The way has been cleared for the sixth sense to function. It becomes receptive to ideas which could not reach the individual under any other circumstances. The sixth sense is a faculty which marks the difference between a genius and ordinary thought. What would you be like if your vision was clear and the blocks removed from your path? The creative faculty becomes more alert and receptive to vibrations originating outside the individual subconscious. The more this faculty is used, because you can build this just like a muscle, the more this faculty is used, the creative faculty, and the more the individual relies on it, trusts your hunches, and then acts on them, and makes demands upon it in the form of thought impulses. This faculty can be cultivated and developed only through use. That which is known as one's conscious operates entirely through the faculty of the sixth sense. The great artists, writers, musicians, and poets become great because they acquire the habit of relying upon the still, small voice, which speaks from within through the faculty of creative imagination. It is a fact well known to people who have keen imaginations that their best ideas come through so-called hunches. And we're going to stop right there. This is a powerful, powerful non-physical chapter, right? The DMP, you write it out, you read it, you do those things. This idea of allowing thought and then to elevate your vibration. Bob Proctor talks about elevating vibration. Everyone talks about elevating vibration, about being in the now, about not being distracted, about giving up all of the old story. This is how you do it, through one of the 10 stimuli. And at the top of it is the idea of being engaged in the thought of a romantic situation. Now, if it's not allowed to go into thought, it turns into the physical, which is why pornography is at an alarming all-time high, because that allows it to be turned into the physical. Right? That's not romance. That's not romantic. That's not the desire for sex. That's the physical result of it. That's not genius. Thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways. My mother said I can't talk about stuff like this. Thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways. About the idea of being able to raise your vibration, get on that plane. And when you're in that exalted plane, that level, that plane of thought and vibration, you don't have the doubts, you don't have the blocks, you don't have the fears, you don't have the resistance, you don't have the struggles that you have when you're down here, the valleys and the hills that you have to climb over. When you move up to this exalted level and you start to get new hunches. Okay.
Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, Wheezy.
How are you this morning?
Outstanding.
Oh, hooray. I love it. That's awesome. This is amazing. I didn't mean to, but it looks like I've colored every page so far. You know, I might as well have just painted the page. Anyway, right. But what my question actually comes from a comment that you just made with regards to pornography.
Yep.
And the thought that came to mind was, you were saying, you had said that pornography is at all-time high because it is the physical.
It is the transmutation of a desire into its physical.
Okay.
What sex transmutation is to take the frequency of the want, is to take the frequency of the chase, is to take the frequency of the hunt, and you're transmuting that into another physical form. God, I really like her. Transmute it into flowers. I really love her writing poetry.
Right.
Pornography is, man, I got a desire, and then whoop, and the physical is over. There's not that continuation of building the tension, to build the string, to elevate yourself, to bring yourself to a higher level of thought vibration, to create new things.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Otherwise, it's real easy to go on the computer and go, oh, look at that, right? And then you do the masturbation, and all of a sudden it's over. That's the physical.
That's definitely a choice. I mean, this comes from my background in recovery and everything, but that is definitely a choice. Is it because there is not an understanding of the non-physical?
Right. Mean, it's the dopamine.
Does that come out of education? Does that come out of what?
It comes out of the ease of the dopamine hit.
Oh, going for the easy.
Yep.
Okay.
And then what happens is, with dopamine, as with any drug, you build up a what?
Resistance
and tolerance. I need more.
Well, and then you need more and more and more. I mean,
so that's why you need more. They need more pornography, more pornography, right. More pornography, right? And then
it's never satisfying.
Right. But what if I needed more? I needed more sexual transmutation. Right? When I know the love languages, if you know the love languages of somebody, that's sex transmutation.
Oh. Wow, I never.
If I go want Michelle to give me a head rub, I'll do the dishes. That's her love language, acts of service. I'll get a thank you. So come give me a hug when I'm standing there washing the dishes. Now, if that becomes a pattern, it loses its tension, doesn't it? The challenge with sex transmutation, the challenge with doing anything that is special for somebody, is that if you only do the special, it now becomes normal.
Right.
And it becomes expected. We need to surprise our goals. We keep doing the same thing. I wrote my gratitude this morning, and I did my blessings, and nothing's happening. Well, your goal is over there sitting in lingerie going, well, you're not even enticing me anymore. You're just doing this crap. I don't know what this is you're even doing. But I make my posts. Yeah, but they're about as sexy as a potato sandwich. There's no energy in them. There's no desire in them. There's no love in them.
Which actually comes out of envisioning it, keeping it fresh in the mind.
Exactly.
That was amazing when he was talking about seeing the horizon from an airplane, I'm like, oh my gosh, then the airplane was like, that was so long ago, so advanced, you know, the horizon from a rocket ship. I mean, it
To
just,
think 103 seconds was life changing,
yeah,
right? The first flight at Kitty Hawk, 103
exactly,
seconds.
exactly. Amazing. Thank you for that. This is
It's
just
a
really
chapter
coming in.
most skip over.
Well, yeah, because it has the word sex in it.
Yeah, and sex transmutation. What am I going to do with that? What am I turning into a cult here?
Well, quite frankly, like you said in the beginning of this, can you imagine at when this was published? I'm like,
And
holy,
can you imagine what didn't get published?
I'm wondering if this chapter was in the original book. Or actually, maybe not the original, but the second
Well,
edition.
I mean, imagine sitting down. It's 1920s, 1900s, right? It took him 20 years to do this. So 1937, so 2000, so 1907 to 1937, right? That's 20 years, right?
That's 30 years.
That's 30 years. So
27.
2000, 1917.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean, I'm adjusting my math based upon your
Okay.
help. So 1917 to 2037 took 20 years to publish it, to get the content. Can you imagine it's 1922 and you're sitting down with B.F. Goodrich or Harry Firestone, and out of his mouth, you're asking him because they got the letters of introduction from Andrew Carnegie saying, I'm sending over this gentleman who I've asked to write the handbook on the philosophy of human success. And I want you to give him all of the things you've used to create success. Oh man, sex transmutation, baby. That's on my list. Which window do I jump out of? Two guys talking about sex transmutation, talking about the power of sex, the power of orgasm. Wait, what?
Suits and collars.
Right. With cigars and staff, butlers standing in the room.
They were also these were visionaries. I mean, they envisioned things.
And when, again, the mastermind that was created among the 500 of the richest men of the time, because as Hills started to tell the story, there were some that didn't want to meet. Some that didn't think the public should have it. Some didn't think they could meet. Some didn't think they'd ever understand it. That's why it took 20 years. You get that, right? They didn't, just because Carnegie sent them a letter, there wasn't a snowball's chance in Haiti they were ever going to tell the secret. First of all, some of them didn't even know there was a secret. They just thought everybody else was stupid. I mean, if I would offer you an afternoon to just sit and think of the resistance of the creation of this book, the resistance of the individual who didn't know they didn't know. They were an unconscious competent, wildly successful. And what happens when you become an unconscious competent in a world where you're supposed to know what you're doing, you can become aggressive because you don't know what you know. You don't know that you know it. And everybody asks you, how are you doing it? And you don't know. So you get mad. You ever know a mad, successful, vengeful, successful person? They don't know how they do it. Wallace D. Waddle says, even blockheads can become rich.
Can get rich. Yes, he does.
Right?
Yes,
so now we're talking about sex transmutation. We're talking about what does it mean about just what comes into your mind just before orgasm? That's literally what it's talking about. Can you take that energy that's at that peak of ecstasy and send that energy rather than the physical into the ethereal? You know the discipline it takes, the mind building muscle it takes.
Yeah. Well, do I know it? I want to know it.
Right. And so that's the thing to work for, is because as you get into that state of ecstasy, that's a state of the highest vibration.
That's the wonderment that I'm having, is that vibration and frequency is all. Everything
There is
is.
nothing else.
There's nothing
Everything. The
else.
first universal law is that energy is.
And it was interesting. I was having having lunch with a couple of gals, and I was talking about something, what are you working on, Louise, or something to that effect. And I said, ultimately, I'm just trying to fine tune my frequency. And there was a blank for a minute, but when I changed that to vibrate, to the word to vibration, then they were on board with me.
Now take out the word trying.
I am fine tuning. I am refining my frequency.
I'm elevating it.
I'm tuning.
Right?
What is it like? I'm tuning.
What's that?
What? I mean, help me.
Okay, so you said I'm trying to fine tune my frequency.
Take out the trying.
You're not trying to fine tune it. You're wanting to elevate it. Say what you want.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking to elevate my frequency and my vibration onto a plane of thought where I'm not used to thinking. And Old Story brought the feeling of they didn't know what I was talking about. So what?
Yeah.
You want them to ask, well, how do you do that? Very well. Why do you ask?
I really did. But I did say trying, so that was the block.
Oh, well, I don't want to do that. If you see, this is the thing. What you just said was significant. And I hope people can hear the genius that you just revealed, right? Because you're laughing. In your laughter, that's where we elevate. Laughter is one of the ways to elevate our frequency. I want you to cry and laugh at the same time. Now, but you can't stay in the same frequency. You can be crying and then start laughing. You're not crying anymore.
Right.
So when you said when you wanted to laugh, you wanted to raise your level of frequency, which means I wanted them to ask me how, but you didn't give them the reason to want to know how, because they're trying too. See how powerful one word can.
So good.
Right?
This is so good.
Isn't it? It's awesome.
It really is.
Again, it's not me. It's understanding human nature. I just happen to be an interpreter. I'm like looking at hieroglyphs, telling you what it says, and you're like, oh my God, is that what it said? Well, yeah, doesn't it make sense? Oh, well, now that I see it, yes, that makes perfect sense. I'm not giving you any insights into the ethereal or the mystic or anything else. I'm giving you real world understanding of how we, through auto-suggestion and self-talk, speak to our story that we don't want. What would be an animal you wouldn't want at your house?
What would I would not want a black bear.
Then why do you keep feeding it? Right? Imagine your husband waking up going, the bear's outside. I know that damn thing. And you go outside and feed it. He's like, why are you feeding it? Well, it's our black bear. I mean, I don't want it, but it's here. Are you an idiot? Get in the house. That's literally what you're doing. Now that you do that, you got to, am I feeding the black bear right now?
Yes.
Because it's such a pattern. It was a cub. It was cute. It was like, oh, he's always, it's and then turned into the black bear that wants to eat everything. Your neighbors don't like it because it eats their trash and you got to go pick up their trash. Why is this bear still here? Because you're feeding the damn thing. Imagine every one of you feeding an animal you would not like around. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing every time you think of your old story. You talk about your old story. You say, I can't feed the bear. You say, I don't, I feed the bear. I don't understand, feed the bear. I don't know, feed the bear. The bear's big and fat. It can't even leave if it wanted to. Did you ever see those cartoons where the safari animals are so fat they can't even, their legs don't even touch the ground? They're these little roly polies, right? The alligator tries to eat them and they can't because they're just like biting a balloon. Right? That's what we have fed our fears so big they can't even leave.
Wow. Well, I have a feeling of excitement to go on the journey of vision of of seeing the horizon from the plane. You know what I mean?
So
I'm,
go
I'm
through
excited to do that.
Okay, so what do you got to do first to get on a plane?
I got to buy a ticket.
Right, DMP.
Okay.
So where are you going? You buy a ticket, unless you're trying to escape something, which most people are when they write their DMP. I don't care. Just get me out of here. I'll go any place. What's the next flight? Right?
I've thought of doing that. I've never have though.
Right. So that's so just get me the hell out of here. Right. It's what's the one out of Dallas? Love.
Oh, that's
Bing,
your territory.
Love Field, the one that flies out of Love Field. Bing, and you can now travel about the country. Where they didn't assign seats, now they're assigning seats.
Oh, Southwest?
Southwest, yes. So Southwest. Okay. So Southwest, right? You can go anywhere. Bing, you're free to travel.
Oh.
Right? That was the flight assistant button. It triggered you, right? Because we all know the sound of that. Bing, and we go, bing, you're now free to travel. Ooh, I'm free to travel. So the question is, you got to buy a ticket. Then
I need to know where I'm going.
Need to know where you're going. Do you have to pack?
Oh, yes.
So what are you going to pack? You going to pack all your old thoughts? Or are you going to go with an empty suitcase and buy everything new there?
Empty suitcase. Definitely. Oh, wow. If I pack, it is the old story.
It is the old story. Listen, if you pack anything, yeah. If you pack anything, you're taking your old story with you. Why not just get on the plane going, I'm not leaving this all behind. I'm just going to an elevated state. And none of this is going to allow me to elevate because it's literally physically, mentally, emotionally baggage.
Bonus.
Yeah, isn't that good?
Thank you, Roz. Yep.
So now you get on the plane. What's everybody going to ask you?
Where are you going?
Why are you going? You going home or you going to work? Yeah. I'm going to play. Oh, I wish I was going to play. Now they just brought you down to their level. What if you stepped on like an icon? Nobody wants, there she is. There's Louise. Oh my God, she's the one going to dream. I heard about her. I got goosebumps. I heard about her. She's the dreamer. She's on our plane. Oh my God. And people are texting, Louise Cole is on our plane. Oh my God. She's the dreamer. Tell me when your body feels the goosebumps.
Right now.
Right. You're sitting in the same chair. Roz is on the plane. Oh my God. She's the dreamer we've all heard about. Oh my God. We're going to the same place. Roz is going.
Oh my gosh. I've got even more goosebumps now.
Right?
They're all the way down to my toes.
Wouldn't you say your frequency, right? The enthusiasm. Okay. Well, imagine if I said all of that going, oh my God, Roz is on the plane. Roz and Wheezy are on the same plane. This is incredible. Oh my God. I want to throw up right now.
Yeah. You just put a wet towel over.
So now you got to rate. So, oh my God, but they won't ask you because they're not at your level. They just are there. She's the one that talks about sex transmutation and how to become an empty nester. Oh my God. They don't know what to say. If people are sitting down asking where you're going, home or work, is because they feel that you're in the same frequency as them. When people can't talk to you, oh my God, there's an icon. Don't talk to her. Don't look. Don't be one of those people. Oh, can I have your autograph? They want to They want to be in the story, but they can't be a part of the story. Sometimes people make up their own story. They're a part of your world, and they are not.
This is absolutely fascinating, and I really do. I have goosebumps in places I don't think I've ever felt goosebumps before.
And that's elevating your vibration. That's enthusiasm, in theos, the God within.
Wow.
And the goosebumps, you know what the goosebumps mean? Everything you want is as close as your skin.
Yes. It's a reminder.
The elevation of a goosebump on your skin touches the thing you want. Imagine that.
Oh my.
That's how close it is.
Now I have more. Wow.
When you get a goosebump, it literally bumps into the frequency of the thing you want, because the thing you want is seeking you. The thing you want is seeking you. When you have a desire for the person of your dreams, your wants, the love of your life, the romantic interlude of your life, the right, male or female, that thing, that desire, you are in a desire for connection at a level that doesn't exist, and you have this desire, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, I love you. You hang up. It's 4:00 in the morning, bitch. Go to bed, right? We don't say that. Right? No, you hang up. Oh my God. Wow, you look exhausted. I was on the phone with oh my God, I love her. I think she's the one. Till 4 a.m. The hell were you talking about till 4 a.m? What time did you get on at 3:55? No, at midnight. We said goodbye for 4 hours. You're nuts. You're stupid. Right? But we do crazy things when we're in love. Why not fall in love with our dreams and do as crazy things? Why not say to your money, $200,000. No, you say goodnight, $200,000. No, you say goodnight. I love you. I love you too. I love you more. Can you imagine if you started to have a conversation like that? You have elevated into a new plane of craziness, which is actually the plane of creativeness.
Yeah.
What do we say about all the people who are creative? They're crazy. Van Gogh, crazy. Couldn't hear me if he wanted to. Didn't even want to cut off his ear.
Oh my goodness. Oh. What do I get to create today so that I have enough?
Yeah, right? Now that causes thinking.
Yes.
And this is Wallace D. Waddell's moment too. Don't think it's got to be something Nobel Peace Prize worthy.
Right.
This is a Waddell's moment. Change the way. I mean, it's not about doing certain things. It's about doing things in a certain way. Everything you have done, when done in a certain way, will double your income. Period. End of story. Period. Guaranteed. You do not need to learn a new strategy. You'll need to learn a new how to do it, which is the human. Period. Because of the way most people teach, we're taught to, I got to learn something new. No, you've got to do the deep self-introspection of changing the way you do things, so the things you do change the way you receive things. You can't do anything different than what you do right now. You're going to talk to people. You're going to post about stuff. You're going to follow up with people. You're going to speak in front. You are not going to go you're going to go and start a podcast from the space station. You're just not.
Right.
I mean, maybe, but I don't think that wouldn't be my first choice. So everything you are about to do, if you do it in this certain way, what's the certain way? From the plane. Now you maybe it grasps when I talk to AJ and we talk about business class conversations.
I'm hearing that.
Right? Now it means talk about what you would talk about in the front of the plane, not the back of the plane. Now you can have business class conversations in the back.
Go anywhere.
Most won't grasp it. Most
And
are
it
worried about
begins
the.
with
Go ahead.
visualization, right? And
What's that?
it begins with that, what the missing for me, what the bridge is the visualization. I want to get in my transporter and go to my place and sit there and just let the mind
But
be.
the challenge with the transporter is that it's not vibrational.
Yeah.
It's we want to physically move to a new place.
Mm-hmm.
So move to Maine. That's I mean when if you grasp it as an understanding like that, you sat and got goosebumps right in the place you are.
Yes.
That's doing things in a certain way. That's telling a story in a certain way. You can transport yourself. Diane said on YouTube, thank you, Louise. Helpful. You can you visually and vibratorily gave yourself vibrations, gave yourself goosebumps. Here's the question. Did the goosebumps come because of your vibration, or are the goosebumps the result of stepping into the vibration that already exists?
The latter.
So everything you want already exists. You do not need to transport anywhere. What you might want to do is transport your elevation, not your destination.
Okay. Well,
So
and
have you ever done the meditation? Has anybody ever taken you on a meditation to where you close your eyes and all of a sudden, so part of it is as you breathe and you close your eyes. I know I've done it a couple of times. I don't remember how long ago. And you elevate yourself. And now I want you to imagine that you're at the ceiling of your room. What do you see different? You just floated up to the ceiling of the room that you're in, wherever, however high the ceiling is, and you are now looking down upon the room. And if you happen to be on the first floor, I want you to move up into the second floor to the ceiling, and I want you to be able to see the entire first floor and second floor. What do you see now? I want you to go outside, and I want you to go through your attic and out to the roof, and I want you to get up, go 100 feet above your house. What do you see from the roof and in the yard and the trees? And now elevate yourself to move to see your town, to see your neighborhood. What do you see now? And so this is where you elevate yourself. What do you see? What's the vibration that you're in? What's this new awareness? And you're not thinking about my coffee's cold.
right, right.
So I take yourself on that.
That's I've never done that.
Okay. I
That's
have a
awesome.
back when we were going through some transitions from the tornadoes and the house and the hurricanes and all that stuff, needing to get my head back in line because our dream home was just destroyed and all of that stuff. So my mental mentor, right, used to take us to the center of the universe. I want you to get into a place where there is no light in the center of the universe. You are a hell of a way from everything that no light can get to you. And you would go to the center of the universe and you would come back, and you would go to the center of the universe and you would come back on this light beam. And along this light beam, you would ask for clues to be dropped off. And as you're traveling 10 times faster than the speed of light to the center and back, and to the center and back, you'd start to pick up these hunches because they were similar in vibration, similar in state. And as you picked up these hunches, you came back here at an elevated state outside of the earth, looking down on the earth, and you were able to begin to consume those hunches that were given to you. Pretty powerful stuff. All while sitting in my office in Plano, Texas.
Do that.
Yep. Just start with that visualization. Understand that you elevated yourself. Get on a plane. Buy your ticket. It's your DMP.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get caught up in thought. What I mean by is literally write on a sticky note, ticket to DMP. Well, I don't know what my DMP is. Great. Just get a ticket to it. The universe knows what your DMP is. Your subconscious knows. It's your old story that's keeping you from thinking you don't know.
Right.
Just go buy a ticket to your DMP and find out when you get elevated going, I wonder where it's taking me. I wonder what my DMP really is. Don't be surprised when you come back landing going, holy shiitake. Where the hell did that come from?
That's what I want.
Yeah, but that's
exactly
available.
What I want.
If that's what you want, that's what's available. You got to get on the plane. You can't see it from down here going, wow, there goes somebody in their DMP. I wonder what they're doing. I'll never get there. I don't even know where the airport's at. Right?
Yeah.
98% of the population.
Pardon?
And another, here's the thing. Listen to this. 98% of the population don't even know what DMP is. Of the 100%, listen carefully. Of the 100% who have crafted a DMP, 98% never arrive. They've done the work. They do the sticky notes. They do the vibration. They go to the events. They go to the training. They go to this. They never get on the frickin' plane. They never go to the airport. They keep asking how. I don't know. I don't know. Because nobody ever teaches them how is human. How do I do that? Who do you need to become to do that? Well, I don't know. Awesome. Let me know how that works for you.
Yeah.
This is good stuff.
This is amazing stuff. And I love it. I love it. I have not bought. I'm at the
You haven't even gone
counter.
shopping for the ticket yet.
I have not bought the ticket. I have not bought the ticket, so I can't get on the plane.
Right.
But I want to get on the plane, and I'm trying to get on the plane.
Sure. How's that working for you?
Airport, but that's as far as I've gotten.
Yeah. You're the Uber driver that keeps going to the airport going, when's it gonna be my chance to go on the trip?
Okay, you are my ultimate translator. Thank you so much. Not just an interpreter, but thank you.
I go to the airport 50 times a day. I drop people off. I pick people up. I'm watching them have success. And when's it going to be mine? Get out of the freaking car. Leave the car double parked. Let it get towed. God dang it. Get into the airport.
I want to help everybody.
If I go to the airport 7 more times, I'll get my card punched. I'll get a free tank of gas, but I won't get my trip. I don't know why.
Yes, that's exactly. And yep. I'm
because
I'm excited.
I speak human.
You do.
And this is, like you said, I translate. Absolutely. Interpret. Absolutely. Because I speak wheezy.
Yes, you do.
And now the challenge is
so grateful for that.
He speaks wheezy. I don't really want to get around him because if he speaks wheezy, he knows all of the things. Yes, I do.
There are some times I don't get on. Anyway, I love you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
This has been awesome.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There's a little bit of a conversation about sex transmutation. It's the ability to raise your energy into a desire, into a frequency, into an elevated state of desire. Sex is a huge thing that creates the desire, creates a want. We will do things we don't normally do. We do things we wouldn't normally think we could do. And when you understand that at that moment of elevated, you can literally bring in the other ideas. From this state, think of your DMP. From this state, think of your desires. See, because the same is true when we're aggravated. Sex is the highest of elevations of want, of desire, of peace, of love, of just absolutely togetherness, right? When done in the appropriate states. But being totally aggravated is an elevated frequency. Didn't say positive or negative. That's why you manifest a lot of solutions from your most aggravated moments, because you are in an elevated state of frequency. Mad is still an elevated frequency. Joy and mad, right? Yin and yang are the same frequency. It's how you choose to see it. If you can grasp that, you will grasp an amazing revelation of awareness and possibility. Aggravation, love, sex, and anger are the same vibration, same side, different sides of the same coin of vibration. That's why you can manifest your way out of this is not happening anymore. I am not going to be broken. I'm 2 months behind on rent. I got to make something happen. And you make something happen. Listen very carefully to this. The worst thing that's ever happened to you was the worst thing that ever happened to you. The best thing that has ever happened to you is the best thing that ever happened to you. They are the same sides of the same coin. They're two sides of the same coin. The question is what are you going to focus on to get more of? Do you want more of the worst thing? Do you want more of the worst thing? Do you want a new worst thing that ever happened to you? You can get there. Do you want a better best thing that ever happened to you? You can get there too. It's elevating your state of awareness to make that happen. I'm your head brain training, brain scrambling, sex transmutation guy. I'll see you all where?
At the next event.
At the next event. At the next event. Somebody give me some Costa Ricas.
Pura vida.
Pura vida. We love you, Mark. And some Lydias.
Peace be with us.
Peace be with us all. And the queen of helping you have more of what you want and less of what you don't, Jessie Lee Ward.
Boss Lee.
Boss Lee, we love you, girl. And little white fluffy.
Gurgly, gurgly, gurgly.
All right. Everybody go have some fun today. I'm going to say, yeah, we're doing the call tomorrow. We'll plan on the call tomorrow. I love you tons. I'll see y'all at the next event tomorrow. Thanks, everybody. Bye for now.